Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to understand how this practice will help for us to develop our conventional life, our day-to-day life, and at the same time, how this will help us to gain a very clear, good spiritual path. So when it comes to mind, it is very important ourselves to know how this mind works. Because once you know that, the knowing is the solution for this all. Another way it called the awareness. And another way it called the consciousness. So whatever you do, if you don't come to the awareness or the consciousness, it always going to take us to something else. So the final solution for everything in our human life is awareness. So that's why through meditation, we build up that path. So when it comes to our mind, if you look very carefully, mind always interfere with something. And if you see the very behavior of the mind, you can very easily get out of these unnecessary thoughts. So the mind always hold it to name or the form. So as example, in this very moment, if you take a name or if you think about something, then right away it comes to your mind as a picture. So if you take out that picture, in what condition, in what form your mind going to be? If you take out that whatever the picture, that doesn't mean that whatever exists outside going to change. No, it's going to be the same. Just imagine it's your car or somebody, another person, your mother, father, your husband, wife, your partner, your children. You always hold with the mental image. that mental image take you out of this awareness. Holding that mental image doesn't mean that whatever other person going to get more benefit. No. That person going to be the same, that thing going to be the same, that whatever happened to it, it will happen. But when you hold with that mental image, you are the one who going to be conditioned. Your own mind going to be conditioned. And out of that condition, what will happen? You are the one who going to get into tangle. Your behavior going to get into more difficulties. So if you are capable to get that image out and allow your mind to be free itself, you are more capable to understand something beyond your imagination. And in that way, you and other people, you and other things going to have more successful environment. But when we hold it to our image, mental image, we become very limited. So this image can come as result of many things. But somehow we have to understand this image is kind of like that wind. We are trying to run behind and try to catch the wind. We will never reach to that, whatever in our mental image. So, and the only thing is, keep running will happen. And another thing is this, the mental image get influenced with many reasons. And one of the thing is called the 5 hindrance. So when the mind get into mental image with the help of, with the influence from the 5 hindrance, another way it called unconsciousness. So in this conventional way, when we say unconscious, it's kind of like you collapse. But in the spiritual path, in the spiritual way, when we say unconscious, that means you are conscious, your consciousness interfere with something. Your awareness inspired by something else, or your mind conditioned by something. That is what called unconscious, unawareness. Another way, ego means what? Ego means unconscious mind. So if you have the unconscious mind, you are not going to see the reality. So if anyone get influenced by the 5 hindrance, you are not going to experience the reality as it is. So once your mind interfere with something else, if you are unconscious, so out of your bodily, verbally, mentally actions, you will get into something else. And we all experience this. And when you into that, it is not the real person, because when you become conscious, that is where your real being going to happen. So when you are unconscious, so that's mean it is not you. So that's mean when your mind interfere or influence, or conditioned by 5 hindrance out of 5 any. So you are not the real person, because it is not your consciousness. Your consciousness is some mixed with something. So that's why, in another way, when you deeply understand this method, what will happen naturally, that out of, if anyone do anything, that if you get hurt or if anyone do mistake, or like, naturally you have the compassion, because the forgiveness, because you know it is not that person. That person mind influenced by something, and even it is not his or her choice. That is the very nature, the one part of this nature. There's nothing wrong with it. Only thing is how much we understand that. So when it comes to that, your mind is kind of like in a very naturally, your awareness, your consciousness, when it comes to itself, if it is not interfere with something, it's kind of like a very crystal clear solid water. Your mind not influenced by any pictures or the thoughts or the patterns, methods, desires, or kind of like that. But once the mind conditioned by the sensual desires, another way we call the kama chanda, kama raga, it's kind of like your mind get colored, the colored water. So it lose that it purity. But the water is still there, but it mixed with the colors. Sensory desires. And always with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, for me, with the self-centered mind, look for satisfaction. So if anyone have that nature, in that very level, if anybody do something, it is not that person. So when you practice then yourself, that is what you have to understand in day-to-day life. So whatever other people do with the influence by the sensual desires, it is not that real person. He is somebody that caught up in the current. So you have to forgive that person. So when it comes to Buddhism, it is not a kind of like a punishment for anything. It's called the suffering. So whatever according to the action that whatever that person does, and they according to that consequences, that there are necessary result will come, that person need to go through that result. That's it. But otherwise, there's no kind of like a punishment. Why? Because it happened as a result of unconscious mind. So the solution is be aware. Giving lectures or, putting rules, regulations, punishments, it doesn't work. Look at the world. It doesn't work. So the awareness is the key point. So for children, rather than developing your authority as parents, giving punishment, or kind of like trying to give rewards when they do good things, it's kind of like you bribery them. It's kind of like you doing a business. Oh, if you do this, I'm going to buy for you this. It's a business. You should not teach that kind of things, because when they become young and when they start to work in some place and when they start to do some when they have the responsibility, they always look for something when they do something. Why? Because that is how they learn. When they do something good, they always need something special for them. No, teach them the awareness. Be aware. Because that is where that person going to enjoy anything. You don't need any outside rewards. You don't do good to gain any kind of gift. You become good because that is where you felt you living. That is where you appreciate that whoever you are, it doesn't matter whatever you do. It's not the outside, the position, no, as who you are. Because living dog is worse than the dead lion. No? So that living moment you experience is the most important. Not that, whatever the identity we carry. It doesn't work. So whatever the identity you carry, if you are dead, what's the point with that identity? No one going to listen to that anymore. While we live, you have to, experience your life. So that is what the awareness means. What else? That is what itself the heaven means. Because it is your mind. When you are aware, everything there for you. When you have not awareness, if you are unconscious, whatever is there, it is not for you. So the thing is then, when the sensual desires come, overtake your mind, if your mind influenced by the sensual desires, it is not you. So seeing that is the solution, because once you see, it will disappear. And the second one, ill will, envy, vyapada, or the anger. It's kind of like the boiling water. You see that the mind itself, very crystal clear, solid, still water. But when you get angry, but you have to remember this, the water become boiled. It's not something else, the same water. And you can make it cool also. That is what you have to understand. It is not something different. No, the same thing, but if you're not aware, this is what happens. And ill will. So when somebody angry, and when a person do with something with the anger, forgive that person knowingly. It is not that person, because it is not the awareness. It's unconscious. That is the ego. That unawareness can take us to any place. So then if anyone have that, even you recognize it yourself, forgive yourself. And knowingly, this is the nature. And once you know, it will not going to be there. So the solid knowingly means what? Be aware. And the next one, sloth and tofa. Tina midda. Or the laziness. It's kind of like that you had the pure mind, the very clear water, but now it kind of like a very smelly moss. And it's got dirt. And not only that, the moss and can accumulate more and more and more dirt. So when you become lazy, anger, jealousy, hatred, ignorance, this everything come. So, but the thing is this, it is always there. So if you're not aware, what will happen? It's going to be there. So that is where you have the free will. It's your choice, because free will is not what you decide what you want or not. The free will means here you have a choice regarding your awareness, unawareness, consciousness, unconsciousness. It's your choice. So it's up to you. If you are unconscious, if you're not aware what will happen, you have to suffer. So, and as you know, the suffering is everywhere. You can't blame to anybody. So, and there's no way to escape from that. But if you are aware, if you are conscious, suffering not going to be there. So then remember, that is where your free will going to work with you. So if you are suffer, it's your choice. And the restlessness and remorse, uddacha kukkut, it's kind of like the water ruffled with the wind. And always the mind with thoughts, so always with something. It's also there. And when you become unconscious, naturally it will happen. And even open eyes, even you go to sleep, so anywhere, whatever you do, your mind always. But if you become conscious, if you become aware, it's not going to happen. And the fifth one, doubt, vichikiccha. It's kind of like the water in the dark place, not clear. How deep, how clear, you can't understand that anything. So like that all the thoughts there, the mind behavior, and you don't know what is happening there. So knowingly this nature itself is the solution for all the sufferings. So this whole water, it's the whole behavior of the same water. So sometimes it can be colored, sometimes it can be boiled, and sometimes it can be mixed with the smelly, dirty moss, and sometimes it can be ruffled with the wind, and sometimes it can be dark water. So this all can happen when you are not conscious. So when the mind get influenced by out of this any, the only five, so out of these five, when the mind get influenced, it is not you. It is not that person. It is not her. It is not him. So once you recognize that, right away, don't personalize that problem or the situation. So in that it's where you become very open rather than clinging to that. That openness brings the forgiveness to that environment and you are released from it. So it will help you to recover very easily yourself. So that is one result, that out of this all, that practice, that you gain benefit in your day-to-day life. And especially by the time deeply you are capable to develop that clarity within yourself and be with the awareness, or develop your consciousness and recognize the very behavior, very nature of mind. And at the same time, once you come to the clarity, you are capable to experience the world as it is. And it's kind of like you come out of a layer. So 5 hindrance is kind of like a covered our mind with something. And that is what another way we call the conventional life, ordinary life. So if your mind influenced by out of this one of these 5, so that's mean you are not experienced the reality. So now you see the tranquility state, the important, why it is necessary. Because when you don't have that tranquility state, you miss the very behavior, very nature of life. You experience something else. Because tranquility state mean it slowly release this 5 hindrance, the power of 5 hindrance, minimize. So the solution is, remember this, it is very important. Solution is not bringing something else. No, just know it. Don't fight with it. Just know it. Knowing itself, another way we call the awareness. So then the awareness means it is just not only we practice just sitting and only for meditation session, morning to night, 24/7, birth to death. You need the awareness to experience the life. So now you know what's happening to you. Are you experiencing the life, or are you missing the life? So look into yourself. If you miss it, this will help you to recognize where it miss and how you can fix it. And try as much as. It's not going to happen overnight maybe. Why? Because this missing part happened most of time in our life. But now you know. It's nothing wrong with anything and nothing wrong with anybody. It is your choice. So when it comes to that choice, it is up to you, moment by moment, moment by moment, to be conscious or unconscious, be aware or unaware. So give a try. And whenever you make the right choice, and according to that choice, you will get the benefit. That is what we call the result. So your result itself going to be the teacher for you. Not these lessons or not these talks. Your result itself teach you what is your choice. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Swapatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from any kind of future thoughts. Just remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. Allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha amnihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjisami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.